Chapter 6625. After the police took control of the situation, half of the surviving assassins of the Bluestone Alliance finally breathed a sigh of relief. After all, it was the police, and they must abide by basic martial ethics. It was impossible for them to drive a car into it or throw a bomb into it. The Yamaguchi-gumi also felt that they saw hope. Instead of being blocked in this place with corpses everywhere and blood flowing like a river, it would be better to be caught by the police and thrown into prison. At least it was a place for people to stay. The most depressed were the Inagawakai. They had not seen the horror of Charlie, and they only felt that this operation was extremely unlucky. As soon as they arrived, they fought with the Yamaguchi-gumi's gang of BA-5 tards. It would be fine if they didn't get any benefits. But their retreat was cut off. They fought in the dark corridor, and they were arrested before they saw the enemy. The superintendent was furious at this time. This gang of daring gangsters dared to come to Mitsui Yoshitoka's territory to assassinate Tawana, and caused up to 3-digit casualties. This was simply destroying his own rice bowl. Even if it was his own son who did it, he would want to kill him with a knife, let alone a gang of gangsters. So, he immediately called the heads of the Yamaguchi-gumi and the Inagawakai. I said the same thing to both of them on the phone. I don't care where you are now. If you don't want to be shot to death by the special police of the police tonight, get out of here and go to the dome immediately. Neither of them expected that the superintendent would call them personally. Only then did they realize that they were determined to grab the $1 billion of hidden money. And they might have caused a big disaster in the heat of the moment. Although these two are underworld bosses with tens of thousands of younger brothers in Japan, this does not mean that they can be above the law. Usually, if they do some marginal gray industries or occasionally commit some violent crimes, the police can turn a blind eye. But once they touch the reverse scale of the police, their life will definitely not be easy. What's more, the person who called them was the superintendent of police, the head of the police in Tokyo and even in Japan. To offend him was the highest level of trouble for the gangsters, and they might lose their lives. So the two dared not delay and immediately set off for the dome. The superintendent of police called Mitsui Yoshitoka's younger brother, Mitsui Yoshiyasu. Mitsui Yoshiyasu was driving to Oshino Hakai. In his expectation, his brother must have been killed by his samurai at this moment. And even his only daughter Mitsui Shinmi might have been killed. According to the current order of succession of the Mitsui family, if only the eldest brother died, theoretically, the niece Mitsui Shinmi would inherit. However, the key is that Mitsui Shinmi did not marry or recruit a son-in-law. According to family tradition, she cannot directly inherit the family position now. So all the affairs of the Mitsui family will be managed by himself. If the niece died, he could become the next head of the family with peace of mind and justification. He went to Oshino Hakai to put on a full show. In order to avoid arousing suspicion for tonight's action, he specially hired several assassins to attack the mansion where his father was living in retirement. And then he mobilized the family's helicopters and armed bodyguards to support. And even he set out as soon as possible, so that if his eldest brother died in the dome, he could get away with it. This time he felt that God was helping him. Because at this juncture, someone actually spent $1 billion to buy Tawana's life. If his assassins killed them all, he could put the blame on the mysterious man in the United States who had made a secret deal. At this moment, his cell phone suddenly rang. He saw that the caller was the superintendent of police, and he was suddenly ecstatic. Since leaving the dome, he has been waiting for a bad news. But he didn't know who would inform him of this bad news. Seeing the call from the superintendent of police, he subconsciously thought that his eldest brother must have died, and now the police must have arrived at the dome. So the superintendent of police personally called him to inform him of the bad news. So he answered the phone and pretended to be curious and asked, "Mr. Watanabe, why are you calling me so late?" The superintendent prepared his emotions and tone, and said, Mr. Mitsui, I called to tell you a bad news. At this time, Mitsui Yoshiesu did not forget to act. He hurriedly asked, Mr. Watanabe, could it be? Could it be that my father in Oshino Hakai met with an accident? No. The superintendent lied, it was your brother. Mr. Mitsui Yoshitoka, he got killed in the dome. What? Mitsui Yoshiesu pretended to be sad and asked. You said my brother got killed. How is this possible? You must be lying to me, right? The superintendent thought to himself. Yes, I was lying to you. Your brother asked me to do it. Did you hear it, or are you acting with me on purpose? Thinking of this, he sighed deeply and said helplessly, I'm very sorry, Mr. Mitsui. Your brother is indeed dead. Tonight, many gang members and even many professional killers came to the dome to assassinate Tawana Sweet. Unfortunately, your brother was killed by them. Mitsui Yoshiesu subconsciously pressed his heart hard. Because when he heard the superintendent say this, his heart beat almost twice as fast. However, this was not caused by grief, but excitement. However, he still had to act.